Charlie with Pit Smoke. Hey, we're getting ready to smoke a brisket. Now I believe this says 13 and a quarter pound. After I trim it, it'll probably be about 3 pounds less maybe. Not sure. Hey, but we're gonna smoke it in the Pit Boss, and we're gonna be using pecan and apple blend. Nice brisket. We're gonna trim it up here and get it ready. Now these briskets are pretty marbled throughout, so we're going to trim up a lot of this fat, get rid of some of this old hard fat. You don't want it on there. Take too much to render it down, so cut it off, and any of the good pieces, keep it for sausage later. You know me, love to make sausage. Now most of your briskets has a thick, fatty area like this on them. Depending on how big your brisket is to how big this fat area is going to be. But I try to trim most of it I can off. Any thin pieces of fat, I'll just leave it on there. And just like when I'm trimming pork ribs or pork butt, anything I trim off of there, I save it. Hey, this time and day, you need to save everything you can, because I don't think it's going to get any better out there. Well, I believe this side looks pretty good. Get a few more of these little pieces of fat off there. Well, this side's not looking that bad. It's not really that thick. On the edges there, we got a little bit of thick area, and on the end there, we'll get that trimmed off. Oh yeah, this is going to be an excellent brisket. Now, this is Kosher Salt. I use Kosher Salt and black pepper. That's the seasonings I put on these briskets, and they taste fantastic. After I get this seasoned, it'll go into the ice box overnight, and then we'll start smoking it in the morning. Well, I had to break out this small pepper mill. I couldn't find my coarse black pepper. I thought I had some, but I had this, so it took a bit to grind it and get it going, but hey, it all worked out. Now we'll get this side seasoned and get the black pepper on there and into the icebox, well, refrigerator it will go. Now we'll grind that black pepper on there. You know, I love the smell of that fresh ground pepper, cracked pepper. Oh, it smells fantastic. Now it's time to get this thing all wrapped up so it can set in that ice box, and all that salt and pepper seasoning we put on there can kind of penetrate that meat. Oh, it'll be in there about 8 hours, I guess, or so. Hey, that's gonna work. Now we'll get this meat probe in there, put it in the thickest part of the brisket, and then we'll get it out there and set it in that smoker. I love smoking these briskets. Hey, and it's easy to do. You just have to have patience. It takes a while. Now this shows you how much attention I was paying. When I put the brisket in there, I left it on the pan instead of taking it off. Went back to check on it about an hour later, and I noticed what I'd done and took the pan out. I set the internal alarm at 165 degrees. This is around the area where they'll usually stall. Now we're gonna wrap up our brisket, get it wrapped up really good and place it back in the smoker and help it get through that stall. This is I believe they call it a Texas crutch. When it stalls, you wrap it up, place it back in there, and it helps it get through that stall. And it will be the most tender and juicy brisket you have ever tasted. After wrapping it, we get it back in the smoker. Takes about a couple of hours. We reach an internal temperature of 201 degrees, and this will look amazing. And we'll get it out of the smoker and get it into the house and let it rest for about an hour. The total cook time was 9 hours at 250 degrees. Now after it's rest an hour, hey, we're gonna show you how to separate the flat from the point. Look at that, looks fantastic. This is very simple to do. I take my brisket knife, I call it. I guess that's what it is, look here. Goes through like butter, no problem whatsoever, it's separated. You got your point and your flat. Now a lot of people that take that point and make burn ends. You already have it smoked. Slice it up into some chunks for burnt ends. Well, I'm looking for the grain, which way it's running here. Oh, goodness. Anyways, we make it here. I'm gonna tell you what, this is gonna taste fantastic. There it is, we found it. It's gonna be good. We're gonna get this sliced up. I had to sneak a little bit of taste of that. And let's get it sliced up here. Oh, and by the way, it tastes fantastic. Look at that smoke ring. That has a tremendous, amazing smoke ring. Look at that. That's pretty good there. Looks delicious, and it is delicious. Now, I want you to look at that. Fantastic. Hey, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, I hope you consider subscribing.